we have an assembly program at Case in San Diego, and that's we're calling it's actually a job, assembly jobs. And along with those jobs, we've developed an apprenticeship program. The apprenticeship program is geared towards bringing people in as entry levels, but instead of taking them the many years to get the experience, we want to get our high potential people and bring them in through an apprenticeship program and get them higher level a little bit faster with more hands-on training, more one-on-one training with a mentor, so that they can learn and develop skills a little bit faster than they would just on the production line in their daily job. So now they're working and paid as a regular job, but somebody is going to focus on them and say, hey, we want to grow you a little faster because we see the potential in you. We hired you in with your potential. We want to get you to the higher levels, become an assembly level 2, assembly level 3, maybe what we call a process owner in the area that's kind of a knowledgeable expert in the area. So we want to go through get you through the learning curve a little bit faster than you might. So that's what we call our apprenticeship program. Let me talk about what that means in the assembly world at Case here. Our products at Case are very high tech. We talked about defense electronics. It's very high tech product. They need to work, mission critical stuff that needs to work. So we build products to industry specs, industry standards. Jason talked about quality management systems. So we need to follow a lot of specs. IPC is a leader in some of the industry specs. We follow to some of the IPC specs because everybody else accepts those specs also as being the right standards. And what do I mean by specs? This talks about the quality of a solder joint for electronics. It might talk about the quality of a screw fastener joint. How tight does it have to be? We torque things. We don't just screw things and say, oh, I think it's tight, and we go along. Back in my day, a long time ago, a lot of boys in high school, hey, we're going to put our own car stereo in our car, right? We're going to buy some speakers from a speaker store. Radio Shack at the time doesn't exist, and we're going to wire them up and just get a $5 hand soldering iron and do our soldering ourselves. Well, that may or may not have worked because we were just faking it. We didn't really have any training. We just saw what the other guy did, and we put some solder irons together and hoped that things made a solder connection, and I turn it on and it works. Well, at Case here, we don't go to that. We have to go to industry standards, IPC specs, and like that say, this is what a good quality solder joint looks like. This is what acceptable is. This is what's not acceptable. So that's where our training comes in. We train to standards. We build in a high-tech environment. In Case over here in San Diego, we build in what we're calling a clean room. A clean room environment means we control the temperature of the room, we control the humidity of the room, and we control the particle counts of how much dust is floating out in the area so that we don't get all those particles falling in our electronic assemblies. So that's what we call a clean room environment. So it's a nice environment to work in. If you want to do hands-on work, it's in a clean room. We're wearing clean room smocks. We're going to wear gloves so that we don't get oils and dirt from our skin onto the product, because all of those dirt and oils affect the product. And once again, our product here at Case, it's all mission critical. We have to know that our electronics are going to work for up to 20 or more years. We have to know on the aircraft that when the aircraft pilot is pushing a button to turn something on, it better be working, and not we hope it works and the electronics might have broken or not. So once again, the clean room environment, high proper training that goes with that, delicate product. We don't just slap things together and pass them on. Our production lines, we call it a mixed, a low volume, maybe medium volume mixed product line. We're not like an automobile factory where they tool up very highly. They put very expensive things into tooling. They build thousands and thousands of product a month. We're not quite at those high volumes. We might build hundreds a month, or even 30s or 50s a month. So what that means is it's more operator hands-on. The operator doesn't just slap things together, push a button, and the tooling makes it perfect. The operator has to be skilled and do some fine hand manipulative work with some skills that they've developed over time to get a proper solder joint, to get a proper wire bond joint. And that's once again where our apprenticeship program comes into place. Is we're going to have master trainers work with the apprentice, to show them some of the finer hand technique. How do we, when is it too much? When is it too little bit? How much force? Which direction do I want to come from? That's a lot of the hands-on training that might take years for people to develop unless they're being really coached by a mentor and to show them all the tricks and hand techniques of that. But once again, it's going towards making sure we got high reliability products and built to quality standards. Our environment here, all our products are, we saw the different tiers of the products. We go down to the component level, which is really small. So we're looking at things that are microns, millimeters in size. We attach wires to product that are thinner than the diameter of your hair. We're talking wires that are 1,000th of an inch in diameter. Your hair is probably about 2 to 3 thousandths in diameter. So wires that are smaller than your hair diameter, we got to install using a machine, and we got to install it to a circuit board. That's microscope. So we've got what's called stereographic microscopes with 2 eyepieces. It gives us a 3D image. The operators are going to work at a workbench, and they're going to look under these microscopes, and they're going to use small little hand tools, little tweezers, and little probes to do this fine handwork assembly. So different from other types of assembly. If you like to do hand type small work, that's good. Some people like to build walls and paint houses and build engines. That's a different type of assembly environment. So you've got big scope stuff. We are very small and delicate in our assembly. Patience critical. We can't be doing very high shaking and moving around, and we're not doing stuff like that. Our assembly jobs are really delicate. Sitting at a workbench, sitting in the clean room environment. Once again, we have the tools laid out in front of us. So we also work in a lean environment. We call the lean environment goes into continuous improvement. We get the operators the tools they need, the parts they need right within hand reach, so that they're not fumbling around, wasting time looking for tools. They're not fumbling around looking for parts. And I got the wrong things, like people that have their tools in their garage, like me, spread out. Where did I put my tool? Where did I put this? Oh, I got to go find some wood. Where do I carry that? Nope, we want to put the parts with the operator. We want to put the tools with the operator. They've got what they need. They can focus their time on building the product. We have support people that bring them materials, that bring them jobs, so they can focus their time on actually building the product. I'll call it more like a craftsmanship environment, right? So assembly, as I described, it's not just slap things together, it's more of a craftsmanship. Over time, you develop those hand skills. Think of anybody that does fine type work, optics people, sewing, tailors like that, even nails, the people that paint the nails and things like that. You develop a skill over time. You get fine hand skills. That's what our assembly programs are geared toward. That's what our assembly operations are like. And once again, the apprenticeship program for that is getting somebody not only the hand skills associated with improving that, but also the knowledge skills to get them, what do these products do? How do I verify good and bad product? What's the inspection techniques that go with that? Making sure I understand what good and bad is, and growing a little faster through the apprenticeship program. And once again, everything we do is striving towards continuous improvement. That's in any high-tech company. They're going to look to how do I do things better in the future and strive for the continuous improvement. And IPC, I know, has training on those type of things also.